Steve and Jill here.
Hi.
Welcome to the House Academy Show, entertaining real estate investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
That's a mouthful. And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about wholesaling houses explained.
That was a lot.
This seems like such a basic topic. Like, you wholesale a house. You buy it for cheap, you sell it for more, and get out of there. Go do it again.
Do you even use this term when you describe yourself anymore? Because I stopped.
No, heck no.
Yeah, isn't that funny? I used to say it. It used to mean something. And it used to mean something good. And you know what? There's always one bad one that ruins it for the rest of us. I'm just kidding. But people have got confused by what wholesaling is. And then some people are, I think, not doing it right. And now we have to describe it. We do a different way and let them run with that.
There's a lot of meat in these deals, and because of that, there's a lot of people who have no shame and no real respect for real estate or money and the process, and have come in and really, they haven't even put a dent in the industry, but they just get a lot of notary because they're not doing it responsibly. So, here's a prelude to the rest of the show. What we really are acquisition experts for people who own a lot of property, whether they're landlords or house flippers or whatever.
Exactly.
So if you walk into any big company that's real estate driven, like a McDonald's or a banks, both bank branches, they have buildings or home builder buildings full of an acquisition staff that help them buy inexpensive property that fits their acquisition criteria. And I cut my teeth in that corporate environment, and now we do it for ourselves. So what the show really should be called is how to set up an outsourced acquisition department for landlords. But if we call it that, you will be the only person who's listening to the show.
Could you imagine? That'd be awesome. Hey, you got to check out the show. What's it called? It's great. It's a little hard to find. Because if you misspell one of the words, and there's a lot of them, you'll never find it.
Jill and I went to a podcast national event one time, and we had a show like that for a long called something, and everybody's like looking cross-eyed at us.
Like what?
Why do you call it that? Exactly. What the hell are you talking about? You lost me at the third word. You lost me at acquisitions.
That's my favorite.
Before we get into the topic, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the houseacademy.com online community. It's free.
Jeff asks, I just flipped a property in Kansas City and I made $12,000. I know I left a bunch of money on the table. How do you deal with this? Move on.
You know. I'll tell you what.
Well, you certainly can't call back and say, hey, oops, by the way.
I think what he's saying is you guys, meaning Jill and I, what you teach or what you explain on how you do it is to make 10 or 15 or 20 grand on the thing and just keep moving.
Yeah.
And that's right. So how do I deal with leaving money on the table? Because Jill and I leave money on the table on every single deal, in house and land deals too. Yeah. That's part of the business model. Yeah. You need your buyers to just beat your door down. Yeah. And if you're gonna,
now they will.
And if
congratulations,
if
that
you're
buyer
gonna
wants
charge
to do.
them, they're going to do one. If you're going to charge them close to retail, they're going to do one deal with you and never talk to you again. And then you got to go through the whole thing again instead of just texting them an APN.
And what you just did, you just created a buyer for life. Congratulations. That's what we all want. You don't want to gouge them. You want them coming back for more and more and more and more and more. And then you guys have each other's number, and it gets easier, and it goes faster. So every time you have $12,000, you might do $12,000 a week, maybe even more than that. And that's just fine.
We live in this culture in this country where we've watched our parents or everybody do real estate deals, and real estate agents don't help this at all. In fact, they're probably the problem. Maximize price.
Yeah.
You know, they believe that, so I don't know who told them this, but their job is to go in and get the highest dollar price that they possibly can. Even if it means, taping the whole house together, slapping a coat of paint on it and charging more.
Exactly.
And if you ask them about it, they'll say, yeah, I mean, what am I supposed to do?
Isn't that amazing?
That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to represent the seller and get as much money as I can.
I know. They want to, every time I hear the terminology about resetting the price in that market, it just makes me sick inside. You don't want to be that guy.
No. The fact is, you're going to pay 6%, as a seller, you're going to pay 6% to that real estate agent. And if it's a $300,000 house, which is the national average, that's $18,000. And, if you sold your house, you'd save $18,000. You don't have to pay the fees, and everybody wins.
Thank you.
Today's topic, house wholesaling explained. This is why you're listening.
I only pay $3,000. 3%. 3% on the
300,000, 6% of $300,000.
I'm not paying 6%. I'm paying
It's a
3%.
full. You're paying. Well, you're 3% to list, then 3% on the other side as a seller.
I'm only doing 3%. The last one I did. Maybe because I spelled it out. You can do 3 to 6%. How's that? I try to stick to that.
When you list your house as a seller,
Mhm.
and you say we're going to pay the buy side. We did a fixed price listing, so it's only 3%.
Right.
If we did a traditional listing,
That's what I'm saying.
it would be 6%.
Yeah. We're saying the same thing.
Oh, I'm sorry, Joe.
Yeah. Me, I'm only selling. Yeah, okay.
If we're forced to use a broker, which is almost never the case,
Right.
we do pay the 3%.
That's what we're talking
And
about.
we always regret it.
Yeah, we do. So yeah, when we're doing these and we're selling our homes, by the way, I'm coming in and I'm the seller. It's me.
Yeah.
My boots on the ground is putting a lockbox on. I just talked to someone about this the other day. We're putting the lockbox on the door and we're making our own flat rate listing in the MLS, and we're paying. They're going to probably bring a realtor on the buyer's side, and we will totally pay their commission, of course, and it's up to 3%.
So what is this business of wholesaling houses? What are you guys really doing? You know, there's probably, if you've gotten to this episode of this show and you're a new listener, you've gotten so much conflicting information by now that I'm going to clarify it all in less than 12 minutes here.
Thank you.
Here's 3 ways to wholesale a house, or 3 types of businesses that theoretically fall under wholesaling. We explained it a little bit earlier. Number 1, you send a bunch of mail out, or you put bandit signs out, or however you establish an inbound flux of potential, lead pipeline, or whatever. There's lots of different words for it. You contact the seller. The seller does want to sell you his house or her house for $150,000. You know it's worth $200,000. So you have now 3 choices. Number 1, you can mark it up $10,000 and sell it to people that are in the market that are going to do something with it. They're going to sell it. They're going to clean it up, just like on HGTV, and retail it out with a real estate agent, and they're going to stage it and light some candles and bake some cookies and take it to the end.
And am I doing that as an assignment? How am I doing this?
Well, you have a couple choices there. That was number 1, and you're going to just get paid out of escrow. You're going to assign it to this person, the person on HGTV. They're going to pay you $10,000 on the buy side, and you're going to go on your merry way.
Am I getting? I have some questions. Am I getting a purchase agreement that gives me equitable title?
You are getting a purchase agreement that is assignable to the HGTV person.
Thank you. Okay.
Second way is,
because I'm not representing anybody, I just want to make it real clear too.
Good.
Okay, thanks.
Second way is to buy the house,
Right.
and you don't have too much talk about it with the seller. You just say, "I'm going to buy your house for $150,000." When you're done, you resell it to a group of people that you've already pre-established as credible buyers with money and cash, and they'll have their own team of probably inspectors and all kinds of stuff, professional real estate people. But you have the luxury of charging a little bit more than that because you're in control of the deal. Are we price gouging? No. But we control the deal, and these deals take slightly longer, but you're not gouging it to the, you're making more than $10,000, let's say probably in a case like this, 25. And you're still well below what the house is worth. The third way is to institutionalize this, like I alluded to in the beginning, where you're really truly acting as an acquisition arm for the HGTV people or the, Jill and I do a lot of land deals with like bank branches and stuff, where we're heading up their acquisition, the vanguard part of their acquisition deal. So we're really kind of a hybrid of the last 2. But the confusion comes with this wholesaling business because we get there first and we have control of the deal, but we never gouge. We never ever gouge it. So this is wholesaling explained.
Yeah.
You can't price gouge because you got a great deal. You have to spread the fact that that's a great deal. Spread it out with your customers.
You have to, or you're not going to be doing this very long.
Yeah.
You won't have buyers. That's the whole point.
Right.
You could do a couple of them. It's very different here. And this is where you are a pro, Stephen. Stephen has taught me a lot about volume, and maximizing volume. And it's true. And this sings to me. I got to tell you, I love doing houses because in my heart, even with land, but in my heart, I want this guy to make more money. I mean, we're going to be best friends for life. He's calling me all the time. What do you have? What do you have? That's what you should have. And by just marking up a fair amount, and you know what? It's pretty much out there. Everybody can look up because we take total ownership. They can see what we bought it for. They can look up and see what we sold it for. Nobody's unhappy.
Right.
I did the hard work, by the way. I sent out the mail. I paid for the data. I paid for the mail. I talked to the seller. I've handed them a property on a silver platter because it's an investor to investor, by the way.
Yeah.
I did the hard work. So in their mind too, my 25 or whatever it is, little bit 1,000 profit on there is well worth it because it's still way below how they could have got it with a lot less hassle. And they're coming in and we get our deals done, in days, which is great. They come in cash. I've already got, the work done. I paid extra for a hold open policy with escrow, and it is quick.
So that's great, Steve. I'm just brand new at this, or I used to be a real estate agent, which means I failed as a real estate agent, and I don't have any money. I am forced to choose option one. I can send out mail. I'm happy to talk to the sellers, but I have to send it to the guy who's going to buy it and get paid out escrow 10% or $10,000 or whatever. No, you don't.
Right.
There's a ton of programs. Our House Academy group is packed full of people who just want to be money partners.
Yeah.
So in that example, what you do is this. You get a hold of that purchase agreement for that $150,000 acquisition price. You know the property is worth $200,000 in its present condition. You talk to everybody on the House Academy forum,
in the deal board.
And a deal board,
You can find
and you
them.
say, I've got this deal, and I'll split it with you.
Mhm.
And so now you're splitting, you're buying the house, you're marking it up $20,000 or $30,000 calmly and collectively, and you're
In control.
split it, yes, and you're not trying to hide stuff and dual escrow and all that, none of that. You're splitting a margin, probably making a little bit more money, and now the money guy is dying for more deals.
Mm-hmm.
Your buyer's dying.
You
for
did
more
all the work.
deals. Yeah, and this business of assigning these properties
Because you don't have
is
the money.
truly, it's truly you're doing it in haste.
Yeah.
You don't care about now because you're not buying it. You don't care about the inspection. In fact, you're going to fall. Your tendency will be to cover the inspection up.
Good point.
So all this stuff gets rushed,
yeah.
and it's wrong, and it's not professional. And this is what's giving wholesaling a bad name right now.
Right. You're not taking any of the risk. You're just quick, like you said. And I agree with that. I love the way you just explained it.
So that's wholesaling houses. That's how I explain it. I grew up in an environment, or cut my teeth professionally in a professional commercial real estate environment, and everybody was doing was dying for deals. And I over decades divide the system of having a jam-packed pipeline full of transactions so you can pick the best ones.
Right.
And pick the most willing seller and end up with a deal. Here's the end game on the whole thing, where everybody wins.
Yep.
You win, the financial guy wins, the buyer wins, and the end users got lit candles in their bathroom when they're done.
And a chandelier.
And a chandelier in their bathroom. Jill puts chandeliers in bathrooms.
When we've done that.
Hey, we know your time's valuable. Thanks for spending it with us today, or a little bit of it with us anyway. Join us next time for the episode called Why Most House Rentals Fail.
And we answer your questions posted on our online community, houseacademy.com. It is free.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
Yeah, I want to make sure you know this. If you want us to read your question, you're listening to us, this is all new to you and foreign to you, and you have a burning question, go put it in there and tag it. Say, hey guys, can you hit this up on the show? And we will.
This is show number 8 for us on the House Academy show.
Yeah.
But on our other show, the Land Academy show, it's like show number 1100 or something. Yeah. So no question will scare us.
That's true. Bring it. Wherever you're listening or wherever you're watching, please subscribe and rate us there.
We are Steve and Jill.
and
Information
inspiration
to buy undervalued property.